All right, peace, peace, shalom, family. Just making sure I got this right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a Bible study tonight, being on 18. Kind of let people get in, or at least the regulars. Shalom's bell. Um, you know, so start time is 8:30, but sometimes take me a minute to get off work and get back and get settled and stuff like that. So we'll between that 8:30 to 8:30 something start time. But we're in John 18. We'll give them people a few times to get in. I hope everybody had a blessed Chanukah. For those that observe it, so much meaning in that time, in that part of how I want to say it, history, that part of prophecy being revealed, prophecy coming to pass. So, and as we've talked about here lately, the era that we live in, okay, the era that we live in, um, uh, there was the altar was dedicated. So those are things to note, that happened in our lifetime, so that when people kind of maybe make a mockery or say, "Oh, man, I don't think it's the end," or whatever people say, we witnessed something. I can't even say we witnessed, because a lot of people don't even know. So as we like to always say, that regardless of your participation, regardless of you being in class, regardless of you knowing the syllabus for the class, the train is rolling. Okay, Yah's train is rolling, and it is not stopping. So the things and the plans that Yah got, that already has planned, this thing is unrolling like a fruit roll up right in front of our face. So for those who did embrace Hanukkah and kept it, hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, the irony that all of Israel can keep Hanukkah on the same time, and I don't know. I wasn't on the Facebook like that. I don't think there was any beefs or any kind of discrepancy over the dates of Hanukkah, right? So I think everybody was observing Hanukkah, but if it was any other feast, there'd be some discrepancy or something, right? So just shows the dislocation of the bones within Israel. Okay, dislocated bones. Oh shit! Slid in, looking nice. Let's see, y'all see how the light just blew up. Anyway, but I'm being serious now. But that I know of, there was not anybody saying no. Hanukkah is not until.
All right, people.
I'm gonna raise the roof on y'all
a little bit. There we go. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
I don't think anybody was arguing about the dates of Hanukkah. Right? I think everybody was on the same page. So just the irony of that. But then when it comes to something else, and there's always something. So don't let these people program you. Don't let these people, put stuff out there in the atmosphere, and then you stop being a fish. Just because somebody throw the bait out there, don't mean you got to bite on it. But anyway, I hope all of you all who did embrace the Chanukah, I hope you had a good time. And as every year it seems like there's something new that Yahshua is showing us or revealing to us. And the bottom line is that we got to be obedient people.
Amen.
I think when it's all said and done, we're talking about obedience. We're talking about living right. And people don't like that a lot. People want more. People want, they want answers. They want, they want the supreme knowledge. Well, I got something for you. Live right. Be obedient.
Mm-hmm.
Be a servant. You start talking like that, I don't want to fool with you. I don't want to deal with that. And that is the crux of being a saint in the end time, is that you live right, that you be obedient, that you hold the standard high. And not everybody want to do that. That's not how everybody lives. Some people just want to be different. Some people enjoying the fad, they enjoying the ride, so it's not, people like reality TV. People couldn't go to acting school, so they enjoying pretended and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, but y'all just want us to act right, be obedient, just be good people. And I've given you a standard of what you can call good. Mm. I've given you a standard. It's called Torah. Mm. And then the word became flesh and dwelt among men. And my glory was shown and amongst men, because he said it was going to be like that. But when we start talking about living right and just being good people, not being angry, not being hateful, not being evil, that's when people don't like that. People want more. They want to know how many moons and how many this and this and this and the Babylon, so on and so forth. So, but anyway, we in John 18.
Thank you.
So we're back on our regular schedule of John or Yochanan. We took a small detour just because it was Hanukkah, and we wanted to do something different in regards to the time that we were embracing. All right. I don't think anybody prayed. You want to pray?
Okay, you can.
I guess I'll pray.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, brother. No, go ahead, brother.
Mm-hmm. Almighty Yah, we praise you. We thank you for this time, for this opportunity to get into this study, to get into your word, Almighty. Yah, I just ask you that you would be with us, that you would give us strength, that you would nourish us, Almighty Yah, with the power of your word, Almighty Yah, that you would refill and recharge us and with the Ruach, with the spirit from within, Almighty Yah, that we may be a people that may be able to go forward, Almighty Yah, that we are not sidetracked, that we are not distracted, that we are not pulled backwards, Almighty Yah, we're able to go forward, Almighty. And we just praise you and we thank you, for we know that if you are leading us, that you will make a way for us, Almighty Yah, and that we got to be willing to follow. So, Yah, I pray that we are able to walk humbly, but walk mightily. Yah, we just thank you for your word. We thank you for this time and for this study. We just ask that you would be with all of us, that you would help us with our understanding, Almighty Yah, that we may be able to grow closer to you. So, Yah, we thank you. We praise you. There's none that's like you. There's none that stand beside you. In Yahshua HaMashiach, and then we pray, Amen, Amen, and Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Let's do it.
All right, so in John 18, would you like to read? Or me, I guess I'll read.
We can do half and half, but you can start.
Okay. When Yahshua had spoken these words, he went forth with his disciples over the brook Cedron, where was a garden, into the which he entered, and his disciples. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Yahshua oftentimes resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh hither with lanterns and torches and weapons. So,
okay, go
ahead.
Just the first thing, the garden is where they met frequently with the disciples. And so everybody, they were familiar with the place. And a garden is a plot of ground where herbs, fruit, flowers, and vegetables are cultivated. Like, he knew where he was taking them and why he was taking them there, why that place. And to cultivate means to foster the growth of, to improve by labor, to prepare and use. So there was a reason that they were in the garden. That was a place for a reason. So
the symbolism.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I was going to point out that there was a band of men. Okay. So when we look at a band of men, you know, um, a group of men that's strapped. Like they strapped. They got weapons, they deep, and for you people that used to go out there and party, when you in the club, you comfortable with a lot of people with you, is you extra loud, you extra showy because there's a lot of people with you. Okay. So just visualize, Yahshua and his disciples, and all of a sudden you got all these dudes rolling up. Because it's like it's 12. Well, yeah, 12 of them, 13 if you subtract Judas. 12 if you subtract Judas. So they probably came. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming, just in case the disciples want to fight. It's about 2 or 3 per dude. So y'all about to get jumped. Okay, so let's just say I don't know, but there's quite a few men that's there with weapons. Verse 4: Yahshua, therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, whom seek ye? Okay, whom seek ye? And when we look at that, it kind of let us know that he already knew what was going to happen. And he said, who you looking for? And when, how do we receive, right, his judgments? Right. As in Yah already knows. Okay. As in as in like we are responsible for ourselves. Right. When you start talking, like when you talk about business or work or professions with certain people, especially if you're like a supervisor, you got people under you, there's a certain accountability that person must have, right? As in you are responsible for yourself, for A, B, and C. So when it comes to Yahshua, right, there is a certain response, like we are responsible in this walk, in this faith. Okay. And Yah is the great king, the great judge, and he already knows. He already knows. But I'm going to let things play out, and we make a certain choice. And when we make certain choices, does that choice that we chose to make, our choice, our decision, we made the choice, is the judgment, the choice that we make, this is going to determine the judgment that Yah deems on us. Okay, if that makes sense. All right, so you already know what's going to happen, but you personally do not have to make certain, like you don't have to make it bad for yourself. Okay, sometimes we put ourselves in situations because you actually made that choice. So we're just looking at the power where he's like, look, he already knows what's going on, but I'm asking you, who are you looking for? Okay, so we got to stop for a second and think about us and our relationship with Yah. What are you looking for? Are you looking for something that's of your spiritual mind, or is it something that's of your carnal mind? Like, what are you looking? Where are you going? Now he already know the answer, but I'm asking you, who are you looking for? So just kind of food for thought. Okay, all right. So then they answered him. Okay, I'm sorry. One more thing. Man uses algorithms. He asked them, who you looking for? He already know. How does he know? Because Yah's revealed it. Divine wisdom, just divine. Man uses things like algorithms, right? That's why when you go into Google, they know what you're looking for, right?
They do.
Human use algorithms, mathematics to try to jump your gun. Yah's just too wise for all that. Okay, so, but verse 5, they answered him, Yahshua of Nazareth saith unto him, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backwards and fell unto the ground. So remember, it's a bunch of grown men. They got weapons. Just imagine, a bunch of gangsters coming at you. They got guns, they got straps, they got all kind of stuff. He said, I am he. They fell to the ground. Just think about that. He didn't touch them. The disciples didn't have no trip, no barbed wire, nothing. They fell to the ground. So he said, I am he, and they fell to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at John 8. Might read that something. John 8 and 56 through 59. I'm so sorry.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Then the Jews said to him, You are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? Yeshua said to them, Most assuredly I say to you, before Abraham was, I am.
I what?
I am.
I am.
Mm-hmm. Then they took up stones to throw at him, but Yeshua hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by.
So what did he say that make them want to pull out stones?
I am.
So what he said was so hard and so powerful, I got to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So he just didn't say what we would deem as I am. He had to have said something more than what's translated into I am. Now, for those of us that do Hebrew and stuff like that, it could have just been a simple Anihu, right? Anihu, I am he.
Mm-hmm.
I am he. I am he. Anihu. But he said it made him so mad, I got to kill you. Mm. And he had to disappear.
Yeah.
He had to sneak away.
Yes.
Go ahead and read that last part.
Then they took up stones to throw at him, but Yeshua hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. So if he
had not hid himself, they were going to kill him. Now, I'm gonna kill you right now, right here, right now, bro. So he had to. What he said when he said, "I am," we got to think for a second. It's more than just saying how we would say, "I am." I'm gonna kill you, and me being a son of God, I gotta dip on y'all. I gotta maneuver on y'all because y'all really gonna try to do something. Okay, so we turn to Exodus 3. We just want to see if he said what was the impact. Why it has such an impact. Exodus 3:14. Then Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, I am, hath sent me unto you. Okay, so he said, I am. So the English only can do what it can do to try to, sum up or to try to present the magnitude of the name, man, I am. Now they can't even, they can't even put it in words to really give us a good replication of what's being said. So the I am that I am. If we were in our Tanakh, it is Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. Okay, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh is what he said, and we've talked about the phrase Hayah. Okay, Hey Yod Hey, and when we say I am that I am, or the Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, we have a aleph in front of the Hey. Yod Hey, so it's an aleph there, and Hayah means to be. Well, to be. What do you mean to be? To be. That's what it means. So in the Tanakh, the translation is "It shall be, as it shall be has sent you." Okay, so when Yahshua is saying "I am," he's not just saying Anihu, but he is referring to Genesis 3:14. Because it would have had to been an entity or an Elohim in Abraham's time for them to have some kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's talking to them in John 8, they're like, man, you ain't even 50, man. What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even 50. So he is equating himself with the it shall be as it shall be. That's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham know me. How he know you? It shall be as it shall be. So they like, oh, you gonna die right here, right now. So when the magnitude of what he said, it made them want to kill him. Now on the night of his arrest, he's prayed up. Don't we be saying that? He prayed up, super duper prayed up. Okay, man, and sweat blood, super duper prayed up. So when he says, because now it's game time. It's game time now. So now they here, they deep, they got their weapons. He strikes the first blow. Who you looking for? Knowing who you looking for. Who you looking for? Yeshua of Nazareth. I am he. And fall to the ground.
Yeah.
So the power and the magnitude of what he said. At one point he said they want to kill him. Another point he said it, they fall to the ground. Because you're getting ready to put your hands and deliver Elohim to death.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just an additional note in the study Bible I have, it says, I am the bread of life. It's the first of Yeshua's 7 I am sayings in John. Subsequently, he said he is the light of the world, the door of the sheep, the good shepherd, the resurrection and the life, the way, the truth, and the life, the true vine. Yeshua also referred to himself as the I am, as Jeremy said, a clear allusion to God's identification in I am, Exodus 3:14. And in 8:6, Jeremy talks about falling to the ground. It said falling to the ground is a common reaction to divine revelation.
So it's almost like when he said it, there was like a flash of who he really was, and it knocked him to the ground.
And yeah, they reference Ezekiel and Daniel, and yeah.
Now we won't go there, but in Isaiah 8:14, all right, we have the stone of stumbling. Okay, because they fell. Go ahead, might as well go ahead and get it.
I was just writing it down.
Okay, go ahead and get that. Isaiah 8:14. Because they fell to the ground and they didn't realize that this was the stone. Okay.
Isaiah 8:14. He will be as a sanctuary, but a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, as a trap and a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
That's something real powerful right there. A what? A stone of
stumbling.
To who?
The house, both the houses.
But what did it say?
And a rock of offense.
To the house of?
To both the houses of Israel.
So who are the two houses? The house of Israel and the house of
Yehuda.
Oh, so Yeshua is a stone of stumbling to
both houses.
To all the Israelites. Is that why it's a hot mess on Facebook? That's why it's a hot mess. Because Yeshua is a stone of stumbling to both houses. Okay. That explains why a lot of stuff is why it is today. Because he's a stone of stumbling to both houses. Okay. And then also in 1 Peter 2:8, it references that. But just put that in your notes, Isaiah 8:14, and then 1 Peter 2:8. You got anything you want to add to that? Okay. What are we at? 6. Okay. Now we're in 7.
You want me to pick up?
I'll do this look.
Okay.
Then asked he them again. So you see, he going in. Who you looking for? Get up on your feet. Pick your torches up. Pick your guns and your knives up. Now, who you want? Who you looking for? Say my name again. Whom seek ye?
Right.
And they said, Yeshua Nazareth. Yeshua answered, I have told you that I am he. If therefore you seek me, let these go their way. Because this is my time. It's game time. It's game time. That the saying might be fulfilled, which he spake of them which thou gavest me, have I lost none.
Mm-hmm.
Then Simon Peter, having a sword,
Mm-hmm.
he drew it.
Yes, sir.
They got weapons, they got guns. We ain't going down on a fight, right? And smote the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear.
Mm.
The servant name was Malchus, brother Malchus. His brother lost the ear. He like, what I do, Cephas? And cut my whole ear off. Then said Yahshua unto Peter, put up thy sword into thy sheath. Right? But this is the same Peter that went and got swords. And he said, this enough? He said, yeah, it is. The cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink?
Mm-hmm.
The most important part, the cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it?
Mm-hmm.
He had drink all of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's referenced. We've talked about the last couple of months about Babylon and her cup. And she's gotten the nations drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yah has a cup that people are going to have to drink that have been subdued by the beast, have given themselves over to the beast, getting themselves over to this Babylonian system. He said, I got a cup for your behind. You're going to drink to the dregs. All right. So he's like, look, I got to drink this cup. Get back. So we have some symbolism here. And if you follow us, or if you're part of the ministry, then you've probably heard us talk about this before. But Malchus is very equivalent to Malkuto.
Mm-hmm.
Malkuto. Now, if you're familiar with saying the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, Malkuto, you have what? The kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So the irony of Cephas pulling out a sword, and of all the brothers to slice like a piece of bread, he sliced a brother named Malchus, whose name meant the kingdom. And I don't think it's in this aspect of the gospel. I think it's in another aspect of the gospel. What did Yahshua do? What did he do to brother Malchus' ear? What did he do to it? Do we know? He healed it.
Yeah.
He healed it. So you have a picture of something, of the kingdom getting what?
Yeah.
Healed. The kingdom. So this man done said, I am he. They done fell to the ground. Peter done cut off a dude's ear, blood leaking everywhere. He done healed the man's ear. This is wild. This is like right before like this is wild. This is off the chain wild, right? If you ever seen somebody get cut, you cut yourself and the blood be coming out. Imagine that. So anyway, so the irony of that is that his name is Malchus or Malkuto, the kingdom, and we get a picture of Yahshua healing the kingdom, and that Yahshua is very adamant that I gotta go. And look, I'm prayed up, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Okay, you can't, get back.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I just had to know what is in my cup. Whatever it is, it's going to require self-sacrifice, and we all have same looking cup, but what's in it is different. For each one of us. In reference in the Bible, it says to drink a cup means to accept Yah's plan for one's life, whether desirable or difficult. Psalms 116 and 12 says, what shall I render to Yah for all his benefits towards me? I will take up the cup of salvation, and I will call upon the name of Yahuwah. I will pay my vows to Yah now in the presence of all his people.
That's very good. That's very good. Excellent point. Psalm 116, what did you say?
That was 116.
116. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm thinking one. Yeah, 116.
116.
That's a great point. Great point. That's very good. Very good. Everybody's got a cup.
Gotta drink.
You got to drink. You got to drink your own cup.
Yeshua did it. He drank it.
Yeah.
You can't fight against Yah's plan. That's pretty much what he's telling Peter.
And for Torah class last week, was talking about Joseph. And everybody wants to have a sheaf taller than everybody else, and you bow down to my wheat. My wheat better than you. But he drank his cup all the way. He ain't spit none out. He ain't wait till your mom and daddy go out there and pour some out. Oh yeah, I know, I drunk it. You can drink this cup. And once again, only Joseph will be able to drink the cup. And the mother dudes wasn't on that level. or at least not yet. Anyway, so verse 12. Then the band and the captain of the officers of the Jews took Yahshua and bound him, led him away to Ananias first, for he was father-in-law to Caiaphas. I'm so sorry. Baby, please. Which was the high priest that same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Yehudim that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. And Simon, Peter, followed Yahshua, and so did another disciple. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Yahshua into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door without. Then went out that other disciple, which is known unto the high priest, and spake unto her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Then saith the damsel that keep the door unto Peter, Art thou not also one of this man's disciples? He said, I am not. And the servant and officers stood there, who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold. And they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them and warmed himself.
Okay, hold on just a second, because mom may read. Okay. Then the detachment of troops captured the officer, arrested, led him away. Father-in-law. Okay, and Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. My question was, who was the other disciple?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who was the homie? Because they never said his name, but somebody else was with him, who the high priest knew. And he was able to go in and come back and get Peter. You know, and so it didn't I don't know, just another disciple.
And you know, could this be like a Nicodemus, you know, or Joseph Arimathea kind of brother? I mean, you know.
But Peter stood outside the door, but he saw a brother go in with them. And he said, then the other disciple, who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to her who kept the door and brought Peter in. Yeah. Then the servant girl who kept the door said to Peter, are you not one of this man's disciples, are you? And he said, I am not. Yeah. But it was the other disciple came and got him.
And it kind of, once again, we've said this before, that Peter was instructed to buy swords, but that was a lesson, right? He pulled out the sword, and that wasn't what he was supposed to do. Right now, we get on into Acts. We're going into the works in Acts, and we see that Peter is properly using the sword. Because he cutting people with that word. I mean, he cutting them and gutting them. All right, he doing more than cutting your ear off. All right. So we get to see Peter's we get to see his growth the most. We really get to see Peter's growth, and when we look at Peter, we need to be looking in the mirror.
Amen.
Very right? True. When we're looking at Peter or Cephas, we need to be looking at ourselves, because there is growth. There's mercy. Because, man, this dude here, Peter, you know, get rid of him. Right? He denied. I mean, you could say he denied for no reason. There was another, I didn't realize that till just then. like you could say he denied for no reason. What he denied for? What he being weak for? But once again, we and my wife, and kind of joking to me, but kind of made a statement a couple of Shabbats ago, you know, about people, us, you know, wanting to get 87 because it's cheaper, right? And you don't want to get 93 because it's premium. But you won't believe this. You were built and made and created to hold 93. But you know what? We just too cheap to go deep. We just too cheap to go deep. You built to hold the best, to get the 93, to pay the extra price. No, I'm trying to hang on to my few little shekels. I'm gonna put some shekels off to the side. I'm trying to go to the beach house this summer. Right? Too cheap to go deep. And so we can look at Peter, and we can literally truly see his growth. Because once again, when push come to shove, and we ain't no push to come to shove situations yet. It's just daily life with us. We trifling and tripping and falling over and just not worth a nickel. And this is not this kind of scenario. All right. I'm sure there's a part of them is like, hey, we might die. So it's a whole different scenario. going on.
And what you see, and that's what I noted, that disciples fail. They fail, but they don't quit. Yes, I mean, and I was talking to Miss Bev that's a part of growth. You have to fail sometimes, but you don't quit.
That's true.
So yeah, they failed because you strike the shepherd and the sheep scatter, and they all scattered. It wasn't like 12 homies standing strong, like, yeah, this our brother. Where no, it was one other disciple who they did not name. And another homie in the background that said, I really don't know him. I'm just kind of here. Yeah. So yeah, he failed. He had a moment, but he didn't quit.
Yeah, that's great.
So
that's a great point. Because how many people do we know make that statement? Something happened, they got hurt, or either they got so down, they sinned so bad, I can't go back, and they quit. And that's a great point. The disciples lose, or the disciples what?
They fail.
They fail.
They don't quit.
But they don't quit. That's a great point. Great point. We're at 18. I'm sorry.
19, I think.
Yeah. The high priest then asked Yeshua of his disciples and of his doctrine. Yeshua answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whither the Yehudim always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. Why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me, which I have said unto them, behold, they know what I said. And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Yeshua with the palm of his hand, saying, answerest thou the high priest so? Yeshua answereth him, if I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil. But if well, why smitest thou them? Now Ananias had sent him bound unto Caiaphas the high priest. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him, art thou not one of the disciples? He denied it and said, I am not. One of the servants of the high. So think about that. So in some shape, form, or fashion, we've denied who we are in Mashiach. Oh yeah, you guilty.
Right.
You guilty. And listen, you know what? Now I'm looking at the camera, looking at myself. Oh yeah, you guilty.
I'm guilty.
You guilty.
Yes.
You denied. You denied. You have denied.
Yeah.
You have said, no, I ain't in that. I don't know. My name is Lee and I ain't see. I don't know nothing. My name is Jair and I can't hear. I ain't in it. Been it and I ain't in it. So we've all done this in some shape, form, or fashion, where we have denied him. And I'm not talking about, and I don't mean no harm. I ain't talking about traditional religion Sunday. I'm talking about people who understand this text. I'm talking about those of us who are walking in Torah, walking in Torah and with the Ruach, and having to be in this society. It is challenging. It is. I don't feel like explaining Christmas every day. At this every year for years. This is 10 years. I don't feel like doing that. You tell me Merry Christmas, I just look at it like, okay, have a good day.
Enjoy your holiday.
Enjoy your holiday. I always stress that, your holiday, enjoy. I don't feel like doing that all the time. But we got a responsibility. So all said and done. Sometimes I get up out of bed, my feet scuffling because I'm too tired to pick up my feet. But you know what? I gotta get my butt to work. So it don't matter how tired we get, how annoyed, how frustrated. And sometimes them things kind of overwhelm. And then you know who we turn to old Otis. Old Otis and old Martin show. And you sleep at and you supposed to be security, Otis. What you doing sleeping for? Okay. So, so we've all denied and said, man, I'm not a part of that way of life. Right. And what did he say? He said, man, you deny me, I'm gonna deny you to my Father. I'm gonna deny you access. Right. So this is mercy and grace. right? Mercy and grace is not, you're not under the law. You need that. You need it. We're about to be in a time of lawlessness. So people who are in the regular tradition that is so hip jointed to the Babylonian system.
Amen.
And I'm just saying that nicely because I'm in a good mood. It's like hip on hip with the Babylonian system, the religious system of Christianity today. Have mercy. No, grace and mercy that you get out of there. Amen. And get yourself straight. It's not that you don't have to do. Oh, you got to do.
Come on.
Look at the sacrifices that were made.
And go ahead. And that's, I think I said that to Jeremy in Mark. I think in chapter 2, you have the retelling of the events of the paralyzed man and the friends who brought him through the roof because there was nowhere to enter. And what you see Yeshua saying, he says, and seeing their faith, he had compassion. So he saw their faith. That means faith is an action. That means you must be doing something. So they believe that we can't get through the door if we can get in any kind of way. So we're going to pull back. We're going to take off the roof and lower the man down so he can be touched by salvation. Their faith was an action. They were moving in that faith. And so, he has to see our faith. It's active. It's a verb, and we have to be moving in that. And so, yeah. I don't know where we were. Oh, everybody's denied him at some point. So true. Yeah.
Verse 26. One of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off. I don't know why. I just got a visual on
somebody little homie. Like, what?
Well, I got a visual of Harlem Nights when Arsenio Hall and them and their brother got killed. And they thought Quick did it. Eddie Murphy did it. But anyway, you ain't never mind. One of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, said, "Did not I see thee in the garden?" Now look, I'd be a little shook too. Like, was you the one? Was that you? So I kind of get why he said, no, that wasn't me. I kind of get why he said it that time. He's like, no, that wasn't me. I ain't do it.
Amen. Righteous never quit.
That's right.
Amen.
So one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, said, "Did not I see thee in the garden with him?" Peter then said again, and immediately the cock crew. The cock crew. I don't want to say crow. Anyway, verse 28. And then led they Yahshua from Caiaphas to the hall of judgment, and it was early, and they themselves went not all into judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. Pilate then went out unto them and said, "What accusation bring ye against this man?" Now, and it doesn't say it here, but I think it's in another this variation in another gospel, that when the cock crowed or crew the third time, that somehow Yahshua and Peter made eye contact. Peter just took off running, crying. I mean, and that's some real stuff. But once again, mercy and grace, because as much as the adversary will make us think that we're the worst thing, we're the worst with this, we get to read and go over and get some detail and insight that Cephas, Peter, was with Yahshua. They were tight. Tight. Man, I walked on, this man had me walk on water. This man had me walk on water. And when push came to shove, man, I pushed him out the way. To do what? To save myself. So when the book talks about, hey, if those that try to save your life, you will lose it. So that's grace and mercy. That we get to For whatsoever thing was written aforetime is written for your learning.
Yes, sir.
It's just written for our learning, so that we can attach this to our life. We can attach that, like, man, I cannot deny him. Or I got to reevaluate with my Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass of what am I doing? What can I do better?
Amen.
And that's a part of growth, doing better, right? And we clearly see when Acts get rolling, Peter was doing better.
Yeah.
He picked up the pieces, right? And he was doing better.
Amen.
And they had such a relationship. We don't know. Yahshua probably done came and hollered at Peter plenty of times. Like, man, look, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to fall. You were supposed to lose. I coached for a long time, and I tell you what, I probably lost more games than won, but that's what make you actually better, because you're trying to figure out or try to make adjustments on how to win. No, losing, there is an aspect of losing that does make you tough, and we got to be tougher as believers. We got to be tougher, and at my personal job, talk about toughness all the time. And toughness is not, you just don't wake up in the morning, I'm gonna be tough today. It's not how toughness works, right? You have to be willing to get punched in the mouth sometime and get back up. And sometimes we don't like that, right? And it's even deeper, because as we talked about last week during Hanukkah, fighting the good fight, so that that your fight is not carnal, but your fight is spiritual.
Yes, sir.
Warfare is in your mind. Warfare in your mind. You get bopped up all up inside your head, and you don't get up, and then you succeed. You give over to whatever thoughts or whatever depression or whatever it is. You give over. And you're not fighting. You didn't get up. Now, how can Yahshua use you?
Come on.
Anyway.
29.
Thank you. Pilate then went out unto them and said, what accusation bring you against this man? They answered and said unto him, if he were not a malefactor, we would not have delivered him up unto thee. Then said Pilate unto them, take ye him and judge him according to your law. That's the problem, Pilate.
They can't.
We can't. This man cold. And he doing miracles. And he healing. And deep in my heart, I know he the Mashiach. But I won't admit it. The Yehudim therefore said unto him, it is not lawful for us to put any man to death. Well, because he's not guilty.
Yeah, you don't have 2 or 3 witnesses.
You can't do it. But you do it. That the saying of Yahshua might be fulfilled, which he spake, signifying what death he should be. Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Yahshua and said unto him, art thou the king of the Yehudim? Yahshua answered him, saying, thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me? Pilate answered, am I a Yehudi? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? Yahshua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. Hallelujah. So now we go back to John 17. My prayer is not for this world. Well, because this world has to pass away. The structure, this government, this system, right? Remember in Isaiah 9 that someone is bringing a government upon their shoulders. They're bringing order. Now that order had already been, but that order was given to a peculiar nation. And that peculiar nation was supposed to take that order, take that responsibility, take that light, and shine it to the nation. You know what? They didn't do too hot. They didn't do too good. But in them failing, you won't believe what happened. Yah had already told Abraham that you will be a blessing to all nations. Yah didn't say how. Now, he did say, for sure, your people will be 400 years. That's something else. But he didn't say how. He just said, you will be a blessing to all nations.
Yeah, 36.
36.
You didn't finish.
Yeah. So my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. So when we skip forward to Revelation, we get to where the kingdom is established and Yahshua is reigning. If we remember, those of us familiar with the scriptures, that in Revelation, once things are established, the ugly one is let loose, right? He let loose, and then he gets the rubber rouse, and Gog and Magog, they come to Jerusalem. And what happens when they come? Fire falls from heaven, right? So the one of his disciples said, "Hey, will you call down fire from heaven?" Well, why would he do that? It's not my kingdom, man. Why would I do that? Like, you don't even know what you asked for. It's not my kingdom. Now, when this kingdom is set, fire will fall from heaven. Okay, just throwing it out there. So making a difference between this kingdom that is he is presently in his body is in a human, and then the kingdom that is yet to come. Remember, the fundamental basis of the kingdom of Elohim is what? From within. Now the other kingdom that had that Babylonian king jumping up out his bed talking about some what happened? I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna kill you. What happened? Like what happened? I had a dream. Tell me my dream. Can you imagine how crazy that would be? Anyway, so but that kingdom is coming powerfully from heaven. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Yehudim, but now is my kingdom not from hence. Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? He's like, I'm confused. Yahshua answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born. So we're looking at somebody who, in order to get this this inheritance from Yah, I mean, we're talking about Hebrew people. We're talking about tribalism. We're talking about cultural context, right? The oldest boy gets the inheritance of the father. Okay, so Yah has a son, right? Who's in the he's always been. Well, in order for the son to receive an inheritance, he's got to go through something. He's got to earn it. Well, then how can he earn it? He had to come down. That's why Paul was like he didn't find it prideful. He came down and fashioned himself in a human body and lived. So he's like, look, for this reason was I born. Well, what were they just talking about? A kingdom. He's like, no, this ain't my kingdom. My kingdom comes from somewhere else. Well, how can he get this kingdom? He had to come here and be born. I had to go from divine to mortal to then be resurrected, to be the first one resurrected. All this other fake stuff and reincarnate, all the other stuff, whatever. The first one to be resurrected and then to be glorified into a brand new presence, a completely new Goku supercharged. To this end was I born, for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. So now it's just, what do your antennas pick up? They pick up truth or lies. As it picks up fiction or nonfiction. Does it picks up, good tidings, or as it picks up gossip and hot wash and all this stuff. Just what do your ears? What does your ears tickle to, right? And that's why the itching ears is very more relevant in our age, because there's been a knowledge explosion. But that's what Daniel said in Daniel, right? That it will explode, it will go to and fro, and once again, in some aspect, a lot of just about anybody can be a teacher now. Just hop on Facebook, hop on YouTube Live, and go. 38. Pilate said unto him, What is truth? And when he had said this, he went on again into the Yehudim, and saith unto them, I find in him no fault at all. Like he got Pilate like, man, like, what is truth anymore? Talking with him, he's like, man, ain't nothing wrong with this, man. Y'all the problem. Y'all the problem. Anyway, but ye have a custom that I should release unto you at the Passover. Will ye therefore that I release unto you the king of Yehudim? So Pilate, I don't know if we think about this. Pilate is sold. What is Pilate sold on? He sold on two things. He sold on Yahshua being the king of the Yehudim, number one. And he also sold on this man innocent. He sold. Okay. He is sold. This is their king. He's their king. He's sold. And he's also sold on this man innocent. Verse 40. Then cried they all again, saying, not this man, but Barabbas. Now, Barabbas was a robber. And we talked about this before about Bar Abbas. In Hebrew, son is Ben. But if in Aramaic, we would say Bar. And then the rest of the name, the Abbas, it meant other, another. So the Son of Man, okay, Yahshua HaMashiach, soon to be king, was traded for someone who's a robber and a thief, and his name means son of another. So there's a picture, and there's symbolism in that what was something that will happen in our time. Once again, I had my little 5-minute tangent in the very beginning of this Bible study, but we just witnessed at the end of the Chanukah the dedication of the altar in our time. So that means in the future, in our time or our kids' time, that somebody is going to be traded off as the anointed one, as the Mashiach. You have Judaism and Zionism. And when I say Judaism, not all of the people in Judaism, because some of them don't agree with the things that are going on. And you got if people is right and they acting right and they telling the truth, give them their props. Or give them, don't be trying to be, whatever. But you got some people in Judaism and Zionism that are trying to make Mashiach come. You got some people in Islam, Mashiach to come. Christianity, that is hip in the Babylonian system. They are perceiving all these things going on as meaning what? Mashiach is coming. So you have the big three, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, all doing what? Looking for what? The Mashiach. And you won't believe it. You won't believe what they're going to get. They're going to get a robber. They're going to get another. All of them. The big three. Because you know what the big three hold? They got a lot of people. There's a lot of people that leave Christianity and get into Messianic and then go over into Judaism. There's a lot of people in Islam. I mean, Christianity still got a lot of people all over. So they traded off the king for another, right? Now, individually, as our own, we talk about our own being our own temples and stuff. We've what is in the Holy of Holies, right? Is the Ark of the Covenant, or is it something else? Is it an idol, statues, whatever? But these are things that we have to understand for our own salvation, which we got to work out with what?
Fear
and trembling. Okay. But Barabbas was a robber. And I think the other one is described as being a thief, a robber, a liar, a murderer from the beginning. So in this journey that we're on, and in this walk, we got to realize Barabbas. We got to realize when people have turned coat, as they say. And it's some stuff that's going to happen in our era. One thing just happened a couple of days ago. And unfortunately, the majority of the world has no clue. And that's exactly how this game is to be played, right? Because I think the scripture talks about things have happened because of their blindness. Shalom, Pastor. Because of their blindness, people are blind. And there's a movie, Usual Suspects. So the greatest trick of the adversary is to think that he don't even exist. Mm. His greatest trick is that he's not even in the picture. And here we are, finishing John 18 and looking at all kind of aspects. This was really good. The disciples failed, but they didn't quit. You know, that was good. So many different aspects. But if you're coming in late, just if you got time, go back and watch it. And it was John 18. We'll pick up in John 19. And what you gonna say? Nothing. Okay. I didn't have to dress up. Usually my wife made me wear some kind of shirt or something. I came in a t-shirt. Really? She do. I dress up. I polo or something. But anyway. But with that being said, keep in mind certain brothers and sisters needs to still keep them in prayer. You know, we know who they are, the Anderson family. Keep them lifted up. Sister Geraldine, Brother Cunningham, his grandmother, father, and just certain people. I think it was somebody else on the remind Miss Bev. So just keep people up in prayer. The greatest weapon that we have is prayer. It is prayer. Mm-hmm. And we got to utilize prayer. Mm-hmm. That is because remember, our fight is not carnal. It's not physical. It's spiritual. Mm-hmm. And we got to be some praying jokers. Mm-hmm. Okay. With that being said, peace to all tribes of Israel. Peace to all the saints, all people that believe. Peace to those that believe, but you kind of still stuck in that system. We pray that you're able to come out. I pray that we're able to help you come out. That being said, Shalom. Good night.